Hello, Marketing Secrets Facebook group members. My name is Maurice W. Evans. I am the one that Vince Audrett and Chris Blower so affectionately have called Mr. X. And the only reason they called me that was simply because they were kind of keeping it a secret who I was, just kind of building up a little bit of anticipation. I truly appreciate all the kind words that they've said. You guys know last week we set up a webinar and many of you were able to attend, but it was a little bit of a last minute thing. And so a lot of you were not able to make it, and that's okay because we are doing it again on Wednesday. That's in a couple days from now. However, all of you guys who registered were given the opportunity to ask your most pressing question to Mr. X. And some of you got to ask those questions live. Some of you did not because you either were not there or we did not have enough time. So I wanted to go through. I'm just going to open up the questions and I'm just going to answer each one of them. And you say, hey, well, what qualifies you to be able to answer these questions? All I can say is I started my first business at 8 years old, wrote my first set of copy in 1982. That's over 30 years ago. I am certified by the #1 leadership trainer in history, who's my mentor, John C. Maxwell, and was certified and trained by the #1 marketing coach in history, and that's J. Conrad Levinson. Rest in peace. He passed in 2012. And so, I bring over 30 years of personal business experience. I've owned multiple businesses myself, as well as helped thousands all over the world. So I'm just going to read these questions and I'm going to answer them as best I can. The questions are short form, so naturally everybody's circumstance is a little bit different. The more specific your question, the more specific my answer will be able to be. And the only question that I will not be answering will be the one that answers I will be giving here on Wednesday's webinar, and that is, how do you force success to chase you, right? You guys are probably pursuing success, and I want to share with you how to get success to chase you. So that's the only one that I won't answer, and I just want to add value to the group, and so I want to make sure everybody's gotten this here. I'll say your name, and I'll kind of post some links in the group and post this audio up so that you guys can hear. And I am just really excited about all the future things we'll be able to do to help each other, add value to each other, help each other accomplish our goals and dreams. I really like to see people do what they love for a living and to get paid well to live their dream life. And I want to do all that I can to help you do that. So let's jump right in. Please forgive me if I say your name incorrectly because I'm just looking at type here, and I'm American education here, so I'll probably say some words incorrectly. We've got people all over the world. I see Norway, Pakistan, Philippines, UK. So congratulations, Philippines, Miss Universe, right? Again, please don't take offense if I say your name incorrectly. Feel free to correct me publicly if I say your name wrong. Because I think your name is important and I want to say it properly, but I just have no context here because everything's written. So let's jump right in and let's talk about business. Let's talk about success chasing people. Dave Pello, who is from Australia, he's a website type of a business, and his question is more customers. Well, Dave, that's the question, isn't it? That's the question we all crave. That's the question we all want to know. How do I get more customers? And so you didn't give me a lot of information there. So in general, I will say that in order to get more customers, then you have to provide more value. The reality is, what you should be doing is discovering what problem your customers have, providing a solution for that, and making sure you are in their conversation about their problem. I assure you, every individual has problems, challenges that they face, and they want to talk about it, and they talk about it with their peers. And so if you can discover what their problem is, if you can get involved in their conversation, then you, by simply providing a solution, will add value and automatically get more customers, right? There was the story in the news of the Girl Scout who set up her table in front of a marijuana dispensary. Here in the United States, in many states, they have what they call marijuana dispensaries, where marijuana has become a legal drug to use, and there are what they call dispensaries as legal places where you may go and purchase marijuana. Now, I don't know what your personal opinion on that is, and I personally do not partake of that, but there are many people who do. And we know that the people who do, that's the whole running joke, every comedian, right, is that when people get high, they get the munchies. So what did this young lady do? She opened up her Girl Scout cookie store right in front of the marijuana dispensary, and she sold out all of her cookies in a matter of hours. She knew what the people wanted. She had the solution, and as a result, she got more customers. And really, that's where we all have to be, is where are those hungry customers? Where are your hungry customers, Dave? You just said you're in the website business, so I'm not sure if your business is done over the internet or if you sell websites or whatever it may be, but where are your hungry customers? And how can you make it easy, simple, convenient, fast for them to be fed? Find out what they're hungry for. Find out what they have the munchies for, and go ahead and provide that for them, and you'll have more customers than you can handle. Let's see. Who do we have next? We have Karen Rudder. How to be heard above the noise. Karen's in the UK, and she's in coaching, has a coaching business. Karen, excellent question. There's a lot of noise out there, right? You have to compete in the electronics world. We have something called a signal to noise ratio. And what that means is that no matter what technology you're using, there's always going to be a certain amount of noise. Even if you're just transmitting electricity over a copper wire, there's going to be a certain amount of noise, a certain amount of friction, a certain amount of heat that's given out, a certain amount that what's being sent is being, the signal that is being sent, and what we want as a signal, is going to be combined with elements from the outside, noise that comes in. If you think about the radio, you tune in your radio, you might hear a little bit of static. Well, how much static you hear versus how much of the actual radio station you hear is the signal to noise ratio. And so what we have to do is determine how to decrease the noise, and the best way to decrease the noise is to use filters. And so there are filters, there are things that we can do to make things more efficient that eliminates the noise, that eliminates the hum, the buzz, the hiss, the static. But again, the reality is that becomes very, very expensive. Really, the best way to be heard, now this is not the best way to improve quality, right? You want that strongest quality, you just got to eliminate noise. But really, just to be heard, well, you just have to increase your signal. You just have to increase your volume so that you are louder than the noise. A good, perfect example, if you were speaking on stage to a crowd, you have a signal, your voice, that you want to get to the crowd. However, there's noise. People are talking, people are coughing, people are shuffling in their seat, baby is crying, people are ruffling papers. That's all noise. And all of that distracts, and all of that has the capability, the potential to drown out your message, your signal. So what do we do in that situation? We increase your signal. And so by increasing your signal, by increasing the volume that you have, by increasing the capabilities of your broadcast, your signal goes above the noise. And so that's how you're heard above the noise, by increasing your signal. Now, I don't know what type of a coach you are, but what you have to do is you have to elevate your visibility. You have to elevate the volume. You have to elevate how you are heard. Your voice has to become so important that people will be quiet, that they will eliminate the noise. They'll shush people around them to say, wait, shh, shh, shh. Karen's about to say something. I want to hear this. Excuse me, could you stop ruffling that paper? I'm unable to hear Karen. Right? So now your audience is working to filter out the noise on your behalf, as well as you increasing your signal. By you increasing, and I don't mean just speaking louder, although sometimes that may be necessary. It simply means increasing the power of your signal. How could your coaching become more powerful? Well, naturally, the way your coaching becomes more powerful is through the results of those who come in. And so here's a way to increase your signal, is to increase the amount of voices that are saying the same thing. We call that a chorus. If one person is singing, they're not as easy to hear as 10 people singing, as 100 people singing. So the more people you have talking about the results of your coaching and speaking at the same time, the stronger your signal is, and the more you'll be heard above the noise of all of those other coaches who are just talking about themselves. So hopefully that was helpful to you, Karen. Looking forward to seeing you here in the group. Justin A. Says, not sure. Okay. Jeremy G. Best method to getting clients. He's in digital marketing. I'll tell you, the best method of getting clients is to not get them. The best way, Jeremy, is to have your clients find you, have them come to you. Rather than you going out and looking for clients, why not have the clients coming to you? Why not be so in demand? Why not be so popular? Why not be so visible? Why not be so available? Why not be so desired that people are coming to you? I think that sometimes people look for a magic bullet as entrepreneurs. They look for the best method of advertising. They look for the best place to advertise. They look for the best this or that, as if there's one, and this one would be it for everybody. But we all have different businesses. Not only do we have different business, we're in a different niche, we're in a different industry, but the way that we do it is different than someone who's also in our same niche, in our same industry, right? And so what's best for me is not going to be best for you. Maybe I sell Duck Dynasty duck quackers, and maybe you sell animal crackers. Well, what's going to be best for you is not going to be best for me. We have two different groups of people that we have to reach in a different kind of a way. Our tribes are behaving differently, and so there is never going to be a best, a quote unquote, this is the end all be all. There's no magic bullet out there. What's best for you is going to be different than what's best for others. However, on top of that, know that the best practice would be having them come to you rather than you pursuing them. There's always going to be a combination of little things put together, that as those things work together, they're going to bring about your success. It won't be any one instance. It'll be a lot of different things. So try to get out of that perspective where you're looking for the best method. Develop the best systems for you. Develop what's going to work for you and improve those things, right? Map them out, plan them out, improve them, measure them so that you can improve them. That's what's going to be best for you in digital marketing. Digital marketing, some people need it, some people don't feel they need it. Are these people willing and able to pay you to help them with it in the way that you're offering it? There's so many different types of digital marketing. And so there's so many different type of clients. So the best method for getting your type of clients kind of goes back to what I shared with Dave, right? Provide a solution. Make sure your digital marketing solution brings value to the people who need it. Who needs digital marketing in the way that you need it? Find that out and you'll find the best way of getting clients, because you can get in their conversation, you can provide the solution to their problem, and you'll get as many clients as you're looking for. Thanks for your question, Jeremy. Rika Winberger from South Africa is in the craft, crochet, knit, and sewing. The question is how to monetize a business in crochet and sewing. The follow-up question was, would it be better to pursue another type of business? Let me address that follow-up first. You know, pursuing the type of business that you pursue, it should be based off of what you have a passion for. Should be based off of what you have a love for. Hopefully that's the area you've already been following and you have some expertise in that area. If not, then you just have to grow to start to get that level of expertise. Don't let anybody discourage you from doing the type of business that you're doing, but whatever you do, you should do it well. You should do it with excellence. So learn as much as you can about crafting, crocheting, knitting, and sewing if that's something that you love. If you don't absolutely love it, why are you doing it? Only pursue another business if you're just doing it for some reason other than you have a passion for this kind of thing. Now, the main question was how to monetize a business in crochet and sewing. Well, it's kind of back to the same thing here. What do people who craft, who crochet, who knit, who sew, what do they need? What are their needs? Because when you find out what they need and you find a way to supply it, well, then you're going to be able to monetize it. They'll be happy to pay you. People who are crocheting and sewing and knitting, they need needles, right? Crafters need scissors, they need glue, but they also need they need instruction on how to use those things. They need good ideas, they need templates, they need patterns, they need all kinds of supplies and support items. They need someone to help them improve. They need to be taught, they need to be trained. They need to learn how can they make money from their crafts. You might be able to do something like an Etsy. What Etsy does, Etsy.com, I hope you're familiar with that. It's ETSY.com, Etsy, wonderful place. It's where you can go to buy and sell crafts. And so what did Etsy do? How did Etsy monetize? Well, they said there are people who want to sell the custom crafts that they create. And there are people who like to buy those kinds of custom crafts. And as a result, Etsy says, I'll be the middle person. I'll be the marketplace. I'll be the mall. I'll be the directory. I'll be where we feature all the greatest custom personalized crafts and things. And we'll target people who like those things and tell them to come by and we'll share in their revenues. So they monetized by going with the counter niche, right? They didn't serve the buyers or the sellers. They served them both by acting as a middle individual. Maybe you can find a way to show people who knit or sew how to make money from their knitting and their sewing. How does a person who crochets part-time from home, how can they make a little extra cash? That can be valuable. So there's a lot of different ways that you can monetize your business. It just really depends. You could become a crafting publication where you are curating information and trends and best practices. People will pay you for that. So you just really, first of all, have to make sure this is your passion. This is what you love to do. This is what you do this for free. If so, then continue with that. And you will then examine the marketplace and find out what is the biggest need for crafters, crocheters, knitters, sewers. What's their biggest need? Supply that need, and they will gladly pay you for that. Instant monetization. Rika, thank you for that question. Great, great, great question. Okay, let's see. We have next Karthik Reddy from India, who says focus on a particular business idea and not stray around. Man, that is great. You're in mobile app development, and that is a challenge for people. They get so many business ideas that come up. They start one and then they don't finish it, and they start another and they don't finish it, and they kind of stray around, as Karthik says, doing this and doing that. Some of that, in part, I guess mobile app development, you're making apps for other people. So you have a little bit of satisfaction there because you're constantly doing something new for a new type of client. Each one has a different idea and a different need. But maybe you are getting beyond mobile app development. Maybe you're straying around with things that don't have anything to do with mobile app development. Or maybe you are dabbling yourself. Maybe you're not doing it for customers. Maybe you're creating apps and you're having a hard time focusing to find that one killer app. So focus is about discipline. Focus is, you really just have to discipline yourself and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick to it until it's successful. And then, and only then, will I move forward or will I move on. Or sometimes you have to jump ship before. It's never a good idea to throw good money after bad. If for whatever reason it turns out you missed it on this idea and it wasn't really the best and it's not something that you should continue to pursue, then go ahead and let it go, and then you can start something new. But focus on one thing at a time. You should be, if you're doing a lot of different things, it should be because each one is very successful. If you're doing a lot of different things, it should be because you've got success in this area and you're leveraging that success on to the next one. It shouldn't be simply because you're bored. Convince yourself to not get bored. Convince yourself to hang in there. Convince yourself that you need to stay disciplined for the sake of your customers, for the sake of your employees, right? Add another purpose to it. Add something important to it that you care about that will force you to focus. Great question, Karthik. A lot of people struggle with that. I myself have had many times where I've struggled with that. In fact, that's probably how I owned so many businesses, buying and selling businesses, building and selling businesses, is this tendency to have a lot of ideas and wanting to just move forward with them. And one of the things that I learned also is feasibility and being able to determine if an idea is a good idea or if it's a good business. It's only a good business if it can be profitable and can be done with the resources currently available. And so oftentimes I would come up with a great idea, but it turned out it wasn't feasible due to financial constraints, due to personnel constraints, due to time constraints. And so then it was, while a wonderful idea, it just wasn't feasible. So next question, Tia Sa from Europe. Tia says, why are you called Mr. X? And the follow-up is, I will have more when I know what you have shared with us, I am sure. Well, Tia, Mr. X was a name Chris Bloor came up with because he kind of shrouded it in mystery. Originally kind of gave me like a little James Bond air. Outside of that, I see that you're in the mindset and inspiration business. So that's really cool. We appreciate you for doing that. And the next question is Cheryl Sigan. And a pressing question is time. You're a consultant. Well, excuse me. Cheryl, time is very important. It's one of two reasons why you have a lack of time. One is that you're not yet successful in what you're doing. You are possibly working a job and then doing the consulting on the side, right? Your job pays your bills. Consulting is what you love to do. You haven't discovered how to become successful in that. The other way is that you're wildly successful. You are a high paid consultant. You're in demand. You're constantly booked. You're making good money. You have plenty of great clients, but the problem is you have no time to enjoy what you're doing. So those are two different reasons why you would need more time, why, there's all kinds of time management and things out there. But the reality is the solution really kind of becomes the same in a sense. If you're not yet successful, you naturally have to become successful, but there's a good chance that your skill level needs to be increased, or that you have not yet learned that it's a myth, the concept, if it must be done right, then it must be done by myself. That is incorrect. You have to delegate, and in delegating, you have to understand that people are not going to do things the way that you would do it. And you have to be okay with that. You have to allow the job to get done in a way differently than you would have preferred it. The other, also, again, you're super successful, is delegation, right? You haven't learned to reproduce yourself. You haven't learned to duplicate yourself. And you're doing minor things that you probably should not be doing. There's automation tools out there that can help you do things and get things done without you personally needing to be there. as well as there are ways that you can have people do elements of your business that you don't need to do. And I hear it all the time. Oh, but my business is so unique. My business is, nobody can do what I do, or nobody will care like I care. And that's just a myth. I've proved it time and time again. That is just a myth. As a consultant, in a sense, you have begun to exchange time for money. That's an active form of income. And that's always a bad deal because you only have 24 hours in a day. You only have 7 days in a week. You can never get back time. No matter how much money you lose, you can always make more. Time, once it's gone, it's gone. Time for moments with, special individuals in your life, those once in a lifetime events, those can never be repeated. And so time is super important. Time is your most valuable asset. You must guard it with your life. You must be ferocious with your time, even if that means upsetting others, even if that means disappointing others. I actually just had a conversation today with someone, very good client. It's paid me quite a bit of money from their perspective. And but they made a mention that they thought they had purchased unlimited time, and that somehow if I really cared about them, that I would take calls from them every day at 3 in the morning if necessary. And that's just out of balance. It's just dysfunctional, right? We don't want to create those kind of relationships. You have to put boundaries in place. And so I encourage you to look at, how are you managing your time? Are you allowing people to abuse your time? Are you allowing others to do things that are taking your time that someone else could actually easily do? Are you as skilled as you should be so that your time is being maximized when you're using it and you're making enough money? And are you leveraging your time? Are you only exchanging time for money, or can you create some passive forms where there can be some virtual things? Are you using automation? So determine why your time is your issue. And I hope you just wrote time. So I hope that's the actual question about time. And I hope I didn't spend all that time answering the wrong question about time. Cheryl, let me know if that helped. If not, just go ahead and clarify in the group, and I am happy to answer you in a way that you find satisfactory. Next, we have Richard Curtis from the UK. Type of business he's in has to do with parenting and child behavior. Richard says, I've repositioned my consultancy for high-end clients, but I'm now only attracting people who can't afford me. What should I do? Well, that's a great question, Richard. It sounds like you have positioned yourself for something that operates in an area that you don't yet know how to operate in. If you're attracting people who can't afford you, then that means we attract people that are like us, or people who would like to be like us. And so if you're still attracting low end, that probably is because that's how you built your brand, right? You maybe have been known as the value priced, or the low price, or the cheap price, or the free, or the whatever. And so that's how you condition people. That's how you train people. So everybody that knows you that in the way that they can't afford you now for the high end. Because you've repositioned your consultancy, you haven't operated, at least in this consultancy, with high-end clients. It's something you're going to have to learn how to do. What do high-end clients want? What do they look for? You are presenting a bait that is attracting people who cannot afford you, which means you're using the wrong kind of bait. If I want to attract a mammal that is a carnivore or an omnivore, if I want to get a bear, or I want to get a dog, or I want to get a lion, I'm just going to throw a piece of raw meat out there. I'm going to throw a leg of lamb out there and let them get excited about it, and let them come and find it. If I'm trying to attract some humans, though, just throwing out a old rotting piece of leg of lamb, that's not going to attract any people at all. And in the same way, there's certain things that attract certain things. If I want to get those bears and those lions and those tigers, oh my, then me putting out some fresh flowers, some honeysuckle flowers, or some what are they called, the hibiscus, That's not going to attract them. Now, I'll get plenty of butterflies and hummingbirds because they love those. Butterflies and hummingbirds are not so into the rotting meat, right? The type of bait I put out determines what I'm going to attract. So if you want high-end clients, then make sure you have a high-end image, make sure you have a high-end offer, make sure the value that you offer is high-end, make sure that your service is high-end, make sure that your appearance is high-end, make sure that the words that you use are high-end, make sure that your pricing reflects properly what high-end should be, make sure the perks and extras and bonuses reflect what is high-end, make sure that you are seen in the high-end places. For instance, if I want to catch some nice freshwater bass, then I'm not going to go out to the middle of the ocean. I'm not going to go deep sea diving for that, right? So make sure you're also in the right place. You said you repositioned your consultancy. Make sure your consultancy actually is in the right position that high clients will see you, but that not only are you in position, but that you are prepared in that position, that you are actually going to attract those high-end clients, right? Because this doesn't matter. I understand your parenting and child behavior. So specifically, you're talking about those who can afford you. Well, parenting, then that's going to have a lot to do with their income, their household income and their net worth. Are you filtering by household income? Are you filtering by net worth? Because naturally, the person who can't afford you may need you. They may be willing to pay you. They're just not able to pay you, right? And so going to those places are not that. How can you partner with some other high-end people who meet the types of people that you're looking for? So maybe you can, if you're dealing with child behavior and parenting, maybe there are some things that parents who can afford you will do. Maybe there's crew, people in the crew, their children participate in crew, so they're going to be paying a little bit extra for their child to be on the crew or the lacrosse team. Or maybe it's piano lessons, classical piano lessons, or maybe it's something else that you can determine that you can partner with, or even at least just be around in those areas, finding that conversation that the parents have a need for assistance with child behavior, that you are attracting them because you get into the conversation and you are the one who has the solution to that problem. So hopefully that helps you out, Richard. Excellent question. I love high-end clients. I love high-ticket sales. Been doing that for several decades and I'm pretty proficient at that. So I like what you're doing. Continue to do that, because what that allows you to do is then subsidize through the high-end clients to, in a sense, give scholarships or whatever you want to call them to those who can't afford you, and you can do that just simply out of love. So good stuff, Richard. And next question is from Yasir Gufran from Pakistan. Didn't say what kind of business he's in, but he says getting clients automatically. Yeah, man, that's excellent. I love that. That's that forcing success to chase after you, man. We're going to go over that in details in the webinar. How to automatically get clients. How clients just, you don't have to do anything. Clients just come to you, and they come to you and they refer people to you. And so that's awesome. That's excellent. Love that type of question there. Let's see. Alex B from Germany has a digital marketing agency, SEO, PPC, SMM, REP, which I'm believing to be search engine optimization, pay per click, social media marketing, and reputation management. How can I become more confident and stop the many what ifs in my head that cause me to procrastinate? Alex, those what ifs in your head that cause you to procrastinate. Well, I don't think there is a way to stop the what ifs. They're going to come. There's nothing you can do about that. It's how our brains are wired. What I've found is, since you cannot stop it from coming, the simplest thing to do is to redirect it. So you're doing the what ifs that are in the negative. You're doing the what ifs that are in the gloom and the doom and going in a down direction that sees failure. And so it causes you to procrastinate. You're self-sabotaging. Take that same what if and move it around and start thinking about, well, what if you are successful? Then what do you do next? So you're procrastinating because you're not exactly sure what to do next. But if you think about ahead of time, well, okay, so what if I don't get enough SEO clients? Well, then that's a what if that'll cause you to procrastinate and you get stuck there. Turn that around and just say, what if I get more than enough clients? What will my system look like? So are you actually prepared? Can you answer every question that someone brings to you? Are you able to run efficiently a system and take on more and more customers and start to grow? What if your business starts to grow? What if your business gets a bunch of customers? What if your customers love your work? What if your customers pay you exactly what you want to be paid and you raise your prices and they still pay you exactly what you want to be paid? What if you succeed? What if the answer is yes? What if your business grows? What if you build? Forget about the negativity. No one wants to hear you complain. No one wants to hear you whine. And I know that you get tired of hearing that in your own head because it's causing you to procrastinate. But you're the only one who can fix that. And so you're not going to stop the what ifs. So just change them. When you're hit with the negative what if, come back with a positive what if right away. And here's something that I tell my students to do often. Go ahead and write down 20 things that you're grateful for. 20 things that you're thankful for. Because really a lot of times that what if is a sense of entitlement and it's a lack of appreciation for what you actually have. And so by doing this, writing down these 20 things, typing them up, printing them out, and putting them where you're going to see them majority of the day. So that's the side of your monitor or on the wall, or if you happen to lay back in your chair often, put it up on the ceiling, put it wherever you're going to see it a lot. Because it's absolutely impossible to be scared, to be afraid, to be jealous, to be envious, to be fearful. It's impossible to be depressed. It's impossible to be angry. It's impossible to be frustrated at the exact same moment you're being grateful, at the exact same moment you're being thankful, at the exact same moment you have an attitude of gratitude. How can you become more confident? Start being grateful for what you have and begin to see the world as yes, as a future possibility of I can do this. Confidence is going to build as you begin to do things, but you are going to have to take a risk. You're going to have to take a chance. Think about a child learning to walk. We don't start out walking from the womb. It takes us some time to get enough strength in our legs to stand up. And then we see everybody else walking around. We're getting around fine. We're scooting on our butt and we're rolling around and crawling on our knees. We're pretty fast doing that, as a matter of fact. We never really have to walk. We walk because we see everyone else walk. And so as we walk, we see them walk. We attempt to walk. But guess what? A child falls down for weeks attempting to walk, in years. In fact, I'll bet you've been walking for however many decades you've been on this planet, and there's still some times you stumble. You still fall. Why? It's just a part of life. What do? You get back up and you walk again. You get back up and you keep going. So, Alex, what if you win? What if your digital marketing agency becomes the most powerful digital marketing agency in all of Germany? What will you do then? Focus on that. And I think you won't have time for the what ifs of procrastination. You'll be so busy working and hustling that those what ifs will soon fade away. Oliver Applebaum from Australia, also in digital marketing. How do I force success to chase me? Man, I went over that for an hour in our last webinar. And Oliver, I tell you, I'm going to spend an hour going in detail, telling you exactly how people have been for ages forcing success to chase them and how you also can do that even down under in Australia. Justin Parker says, How can I leave less money on the table in 2016? He's in marketing and sales here in the US of A. And his counter comment is, can't wait to be on your Webby. Thanks, Justin. I hope that you were there. Whether you were or not, come back on to this next one that we have going Wednesday. Excited about that. How can you leave less money on the table in 2016? Marketing and sales. I don't know what you do, so I could probably tell you a bunch of different ways, but I tell you that we often leave money on the table simply because we failed to ask for more money. Try asking. Try asking for more money. Now, I don't mean just saying, hey, pay me more for this donut. I'm saying have an upsell. I'm saying, hey, would you like extra sprinkles on this donut? Hey, would you like milk with this donut? Would you like coffee with this donut? Would you like milk in the coffee with your donut, right? Find a way to add, and not just upsell for the sake of upsell. You have to add value. Find a way to add more value in what you are doing. Make it worth more money, and people will pay you more money, meaning you leave less money on the table. Stabilize and do what you do very, very well, so well that it doesn't require you to do it. And once you do that, you can create a new profit center. You can create an additional profit center. Because if you're leaving money on the table, that means someone else is grabbing it. So you should be able to grab that money that would correlate to your customers if your business is stable where it is. Great question, Justin. Love it. William Wang from Australia. How to get new clients quickly. Well, there's a lot of ways to get new clients quickly. And so that means to deliver value quickly. The quicker you can deliver your value, the quicker you can close the deal on those clients. How to get new clients quickly? Find the thing that is most urgent to clients. The thing that's most urgent is the thing that they're going to pay for first. And so if you can be the first to provide a solution to that thing that's most urgent for them, then you will quickly get new clients, because you're the one who is the quickest at providing their solution. This all goes back to value, providing value. Business, all we're doing is identifying a problem and providing a solution for it. You want to get clients quickly, provide solutions quickly. That really is the nuts and bolts of that. Everything else is just process and tactics, and you can advertise and those kinds of things, but ultimately is more about what you're offering and to whom you're offering it than anything else. Gary Tapper. Gary Tapper's from the UK in web design. He says, what research techniques do you do to hone in on your audience? Oh, good question. You're asking me what I do. My research techniques, the primary source of research are my customers. My customers are a deep well of information. My communication with my tribe, my communication with those who are in my customer base, they tell me what they need. They tell me what they want. And as a result of that, then I can go out into the world and add some of my own ingenuity and try and find a way to expand on that. A part of it is not going simply by what they say, but what is it that they really mean? What is it that is their deepest desire? And this just comes from dealing with them over time and really, really, really communicating and caring about them enough that I can recognize what they need. Excellent question, Gary. Jane Turner. Jane Turner is in Australia, Sydney, as a matter of fact. And I am a book writing coach. Okay, just interested in hearing what you have to say. Jane, thanks for your question. And actually, I'm looking forward to working with you. We'll be helping some of your students and get some guaranteed major news media coverage. So excited about your upcoming book writing session that you have. I think you even have some spots available. If anybody's interested, talk to Jane. She'll show you how to write your own book. And so she'll help bring that out of you. And There's going to be an awesome boot camp going on down in Australia, so you'll want to check her out. Michael Basil doesn't say where he's from or what he does. It says without any context as to what Mr. X knows, hard to pick a question. Michael, that is absolutely true. Hard to pick a question in general, but if you have a specific question about your business, then I'm happy to answer that. Ask it in the group or on the next webinar. David McKendrick, no question. Peter Wickham is in Australia. And IM is the type of business that he's in, so that means internet marketing. Question from Australia. Peter wants to know how to block out all the noise from the new shiny objects, but stay involved to sell them as an affiliate. Well, my suggestion is if you are spending your time as an affiliate, it might be time for you to create your own products, and then you join that noise with your own new shiny object. You have to block out the noise as an affiliate, because as an affiliate, you're really still a consumer, right? That's why you're attracted to the new shiny objects, because you're still a buyer. And all you're doing is helping other buyers buy alongside of you as an affiliate. Change your mindset from that of a consumer, from that of a buyer, and change it to that of a seller, to that of a creator, to that of a producer. When you start creating on your own, those new shiny objects don't always seem so shiny anymore, because a part of it is the pleasure that you get from making a purchase and the psychological reward of receiving something, whether it's a value or not. The fact that you receive something gives you a psychological pleasure, so therefore you jump from object to object. As an affiliate, you will sell them, but ultimately, as you said, it's a lot of noise. So the best way to block it out is just not even be in that mindset in the first place. I hardly ever buy products, but I often sell them. And I'm usually too busy selling to bother with trying to buy, even though people try and get me to buy all the time. So keep that in mind. Change from your consumer mindset to that of a producer, from that of a buyer to a seller, that of a creator. Thank you, Peter. Sandy Frew in England. She's in affiliate marketing. Do I need more on a WordPress blog than just a squeeze page? And how to use social media to move people from cold to warm? Great questions, great questions. On a WordPress blog, you definitely need more than just a squeeze page. The most important thing naturally being that content, but you have to find ways to tie your content in to the needs of the people. Think less about squeeze pages. Think less about affiliate marketing. Think less about content. Even think less about moving them from cold to warm. And think more about how am I providing value. The more value you provide, the more they'll warm up automatically. I posted a video in the Marketing Secrets group that talks about the 4 stages of a customer. And those 4 stages are stranger, looker, buyer, and promoter. And I encourage you to watch that video. It's about 20 minutes long, but it will give you what you need to know in regards to moving from cold to warm. That cold is the stranger. Warm is the buyer and the promoter. So it will help you in identifying and understanding that process, and hopefully give you a little bit of a step-by-step formula in your mind. You'll start to see it working so that you can kind of put those pieces together and make that happen. Okay, Brad Powell from the USA is in business video, business coaching. His question is method for attracting clients to high price service. My basic clients sign up to $3,600 per program. Okay, it's not that high of a price, but yeah, I can definitely see how, especially if you're talking about video and coaching, if the basic entry point is $3,600, that's definitely not the same as a $36 or even a $360 So the way that you attract any kind of client, whether they're high priced or low priced, is you have to provide them with value. So these clients that have to do with business video and business coaching, what do they want? The ones who can afford a high price service, what makes it valuable for them? If you want to be the high price provider, there are definitely people who will pay those high prices. You just have to show them that you're the kind of person that deserves to be paid those high prices. Are you providing them the level of value, the level of service, the type of product, the type of support? Do you have the proper image that makes people say, I'm interested in doing business with this person? What is your visibility in the marketplace? Do they see you as a leader? Are people attracted to you? Put that high-priced client bait out there. It's the type of bait you use that will determine what you get. Let's see. Felicia Steptiqua, question. Sue Fleckenstein, just interested in what you have to say. Marshall Bircher. Marshall Bircher from the USA is a relationship coaching. It says, how to start building an email list. Where do I go? What do I offer? So start building an email list. There's so many techniques that people put out there, but the reality is most people don't want to be on your email list just because you have an email list. While an email list is exciting to you and you say, oh, I get to send them offers, that is not why people sign up. Most of the time, there are offer lists, right? Like you think about Groupon, it's one large email list of people who said, hey, send me a bunch of offers. But for the most part, the people that are going to be, especially in the coaching, and you talk about relationship coaching, they don't want to be on an email list just to be on an email list. Well, why would you want to be on an email list? What is it that's important to you that would cause you to say, well, I want to be on this list because I want to get this? And that's what you have to look at. The clients that you want to have, what do they want? What is it that you should offer to them? Well, you should offer to them a solution to their problem. You should offer to them exactly what they need. And so if it's hot tips on relationships, if it's single people in their area that they can contact that are interested in being contacted, if it's pictures of people, who knows what it is, if it's tools to repair a broken relationship, whatever it is, it should be something that they want to get. So how often you send, you have to talk to them. What you should be sending, you have to talk to them. But what they don't want is to be on your email list just for the sake of being on your email list. Your email list has to be offering something on a regular and continual basis. That's the part you have to look at. What do you offer? Well, what is it that you have the capability of offering on a regular basis that will be seen as valuable to your customers who are on that list? That's what you have to offer. Andrea Smith, hypnotherapy in the UK, marketing. She just wrote marketing. Guerrilla marketing. That's what I suggest. I suggest adding value to people. I suggest understanding who your audience is. I suggest providing solutions to their problems. I suggest finding out where those people hang out and then getting in the mix. So short answer for your one-word question. Tanya Williams, how do you quickly sell off stock to recoup your investment in your stock? And Tanya is in Australia, online retail on eBay at the moment. Says thanks for your help. Tanya, I'm no stockbroker. The best person to talk to is going to be your stockbroker, but what I will share in my opinion is, first of all, you want to sell stock when it's most valuable. You want to sell stock after it's appreciated. So historically, we're looking at somewhere between 5, 10, 20 years that your stock has grown to the point that when you sell it, it will sell. Now, I'll tell you, the quickest way to sell your stock is to have stock in the something that's in the middle of a bubble. A bubble has people in a buying frenzy and they're going to buy, presuming that you purchased pre-bubble, presuming that you had it at such a low price, then what you're able to do is you're able to sell it off at a sizable profit just in the middle of the bubble. And even if you're a little bit late as the bubble starts to burst, if you got in pre-bubble and got in at a low enough price, you should be able to not only recoup your investment, but increase its value. I don't know what kind of stock it is, whether this is public stock or private stock, or if it's on an exchange, if it's a commodity, if it's a derivative, if it's an annuity. I don't know what it is. But so that word stock can be a lot of different things. But to quickly sell off stock is to find those people who want to buy it quickly. And sometimes it's better to just simply hold on to that stock. Let's see. Joshua Dahlstrom, United States, my site, marketing my site, maybe. I don't know, my site marketing. Knowing so little about who or what Mr. X represents, my question would be, what got Chris so excited? Chris Vlor, such an awesome guy, did have some pretty wonderful things to say and some exciting things to say. And so Joshua, it happens to be my step-by-step system that shows people how to pursue success. And it's not some virtual situation where I actually walk them through and provide them with real metrics, real quantifiable things, and an awesome 365-day money-back guarantee that what I say will work and will happen. So that kind of got Chris excited, my methodology and the way that I approach it and the way that I have it set up. And Chris and Vince are actually writing some copy and things and really helping to put this together so that it can help a lot of people. So yeah, that's what got Chris excited, and I'm just grateful that he would allow me to share with you guys. Great guys, Chris and Vince, truly appreciate them in their heart, wanting to serve others. We're kindred spirits in that vein. Let's see here. Jason Nickel is from Canada. Is in online marketing. And what marketing question should have been asked but wasn't? Ooh, Jason. All right, way to knock it out of the park with that one. What marketing question should have been asked but wasn't? You know, people, I would say, often make the mistake of asking a lot of questions in regards to the best this and the best that. And the reality is, I think that a lot of times the issue is mindset, and people should ask, what do I need to change in my thinking? What do I need to change in my approach to marketing? Again, most people are trying to look, how can I sell? How can I sell? How can I sell? How can I sell? And the reality is, the effort needs to be on adding value. The effort needs to be on providing solutions to an existing problem. So that would be one of the marketing questions that should have been asked but wasn't. I think maybe someone probably should have asked in the vein of, how do I make a marketing plan or strategy? I think someone maybe should have asked their perspective in creating that strategy, again, from a position of value. So that would be the question. Naturally, in creating that marketing strategy, again, it would be understanding what your potential customers want, discovering a way to provide it to them in a way that is most convenient for them. That's actually the basis of all of your marketing. And so, great question, Jason. Very insightful, very insightful. Claire Hunter, unknown. Dennis R, not sure. Jim Bunker, I believe you were on the call also. How to get high quality traffic inexpensively and quickly. He's in the USA, affiliate marketing and finance training. Man, I'll tell you, video ads are hot. Facebook just recently started allowing video ads on their platform. YouTube, you can get them for less than a penny. YouTube advertising, so you can put ads before your target audience very inexpensively. In addition, I think if they watch less than 30 seconds, then you don't get charged for that particular ad. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, all these guys, there's going to be inexpensive and it's going to be quick as far as setup and things of that nature. I believe that locally, what's very quick is getting out there and knocking on some doors. What's very quick is picking up the phone. What's very quick is dropping a direct mail campaign. I believe those things are very inexpensive and quick. So a lot of it has to do with your definition of inexpensive and your definition of quick and what kind of resources you have and what kind of skills you have and how that's all going to play out for you in your favor. Okay, let's get to these. We've already been an hour here, so let's kind of wrap this up here. Let's see. Vincent Poe of Hong Kong does corporate training. Just how to get more bums on seats for our events. Our sales cycle is long due to clients having to get approval from management to attend our corporate trainings. If you have a long sales cycle, then that means you have to have a long marketing cycle, which means you have to let people know ahead of time. You also have to become a name in the industry, be well known and well respected in your particular industry with corporate training. You want more bums in your seats at your events. I don't know if they're live events, but you said bums in seats, so I'm guessing you're speaking in reality, not virtually, but it would still be the same. It needs to provide value. You have to make it so that they must attend this event and that they get so much value from it that if they didn't go, they would be foolish. That it would really be silly for management not to say, oh, you guys have to go. And when I say get value, I mean they have to get some value at the event, but the value must manifest itself after the event. And so competitors should beat their competition as a result of attending your training. Like right away, there should be a noticeable difference in corporate culture and corporate environment, corporate productivity, corporate finance, the bottom line. I don't know what areas of corporate training you're involved in. However, I can tell you that whatever it is that you're doing, the results should be of high impact, and there should be some immediate change, transformation that takes place, so that management realizes we have to not only get them to go, but once we let them go, we have to make sure they go repeatedly. They go every year. Now that they've been, oh, we have to keep this up. We have to make this happen. So there's that. Anne Hagee from the UK is an MLM and wants to know how to market and close a deal. Okay. So, Anne, how do you market and how do you close a deal? If you're in a respectable MLM, they should have given you all kinds of ways to market, all kinds of opportunities and specific training on exactly how to close the deal. If your MLM hasn't given you those things, you probably need a new MLM. At the same time, understand that the way you close a deal is by building desire in someone. And so rather than focusing on building desire, what you should do is you should provide satisfaction to an existing desire. So when it comes to marketing, well, where are the people and who are the people that want what you have, that need what you have? And then once you get in touch with them, express to them how this is going to satisfy their desire, satisfy their need. And then boom, you close the deal. That sounds like an oversimplification, but it really is just that easy. If you adjust your focus to that place where you're not trying to sell people, you're not trying to close them. We automatically are defensive. We don't trust people trying to close us. If you try and sell to me, I'm going to shut down and I'm going to sense it and I'm going to be done. But if you're just sitting here adding value to me, if you're just giving to me, then I'm going to drop my defenses. And that doesn't mean, oh, their defenses are now sell to them. No, it just simply means that when they see something of value that you have available, then they'll take advantage of it. The deal will close itself. And so if you spend less time looking to close the deal and more time building those relationships, then what you'll find once again is that both marketing and closing a deal kind of happens automatically for you. Thanks for that question, Ann. Mark Pamphilus, selling martial arts memberships. Whoa, yeah. He's in the U.S. Says, how do you become the undisputed heavyweight go-to person in your crowded niche? Well, as Sensei Bruce Lee taught us, we must use the art of fighting without fighting. If you remember, he was on the boat on the way, and the guy wanted to fight him. And he says, yeah, you want to fight? Well, it's too crowded here with all these people. Let's get in the dinghy. And so the guy gets in the dinghy, and then Bruce Lee loosens the rope, and it follows far behind. He can't get on the boat, mess with anybody, and he's stuck out there with nobody but himself and his anger. It's the art of fighting without fighting. It's you're at a party and some guy's been drinking so much and he wants to fight you. And you're like, well, fine. If you insist on fighting, I'll fight you. Let's take it outside. So you guys go outside, but as he goes outside, you close the door behind him and lock him outside. And now he's out there banging on the door, and he's fighting the door, and you're fighting laughter. The art of fighting without fighting. And so selling martial arts memberships, if you could see me now, you could see me doing some katas. I am now doing a circle block strike. Another circle block. As I'm side blocking off all of these competitors, attacking at the same time, using my wushu. You have to do what Bruce told us. You will use the art of selling without selling. And so to be that undisputed heavyweight go-to person in your crowded niche is not because you fought your way to the top. It will be because you positioned yourself in such a way that you are head and shoulders above the crowd. You positioned yourself in such a way that you're the name that is known. You're the best known for. And I just tell people all the time, it's better to be the best known for doing something than it is to be the best at doing something. You might actually be better. Your martial arts memberships are probably better than your competitors. But if your competitors are better known for doing it, then they're going to be considered the undisputed heavyweight go-to person in your crowded niche. I was watching a documentary, I think it's called Chasing Tyson, just the other day, and it's about boxing. And it's on Netflix and or Amazon, one of those two. I'm pretty sure it's Netflix. And they were talking about how many years Evander Holyfield fought, being the only one to win 4 heavyweight boxing championships, but really is only known for getting bit in the ear by Mike Tyson. Even though he won championships, he beat people who beat Mike Tyson. He never was really recognized, because if you don't beat Mike and you don't beat him right, then you aren't a champion. Buster Douglas is seen as more as a champion, whom Evander Holyfield also beat. Is seen as more of a champion than Evander Holyfield. And so it's interesting that even holding the title doesn't necessarily put you as the champion in the people's eyes. Muhammad Ali was always the people's champion. So take these things as you know about the martial arts and things of that nature. Recognize that if it's better for you to be the people's champ than it is for you to actually hold the legit title. Because people are always going to gravitate to. Think about the amount of press, and they talk about this in the documentary, the amount of press and media coverage Mike Tyson got when he went to jail, and the amount of press and coverage he got when he got out of jail. Nobody's gotten that much press going to jail and simply coming out as he did. Why? He was the people's champ, even when he didn't have the belt. And so you want to be the undisputed heavyweight go-to person in your crowded niche. Become the people's champ. Use your wushu. Sell without selling. Next we have Juve Hernandez from the USA Consulting. Content versus education versus self-promoting. Man, that's a great question. Do you educate the people? Do you promote yourself, or do you just give them some content? And I would say none of those. I would say the real secret key is going to be having success chase you. So you don't have to self-promote. Others will promote for you. Your education is something that people ask you for, and your content is whatever you decide to talk about, they're going to assume that that's content. But they're not chasing the content. They're not chasing the education. They're not coming to you because you're self-promoting. They're promoting for you because they're coming to you because success is now chasing you. Where it's about you becoming success bait. And we're going to go over that in detail. I'm going to spend a whole hour just talking about just that in our upcoming webinar this Wednesday. Don't miss it. Be there or be square. Blythe Meechan from Australia is in wellness, body care, and skincare. Most pressing question is in relation to using people to go to the website and actually convert into sales. Man, Blythe, that's such a great question because, Google has started this hit myth, right? The hit myth is that the problem is you need more hits, you need more people, you need more traffic. That's a lie. Traffic is rarely a person's issue. If you own a restaurant and you had 1,000 people go in there and only 3 people purchased, and I come in as a business coach and say, hey, how's it going? You're like, well, it's great. I have 1,000 people come to my restaurant, but only 3 people ever order. And I say, oh, well, your problem is you don't have enough traffic. Let me get you some more traffic. You would say, Coach Mo, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about, right? You have people coming to the website. The question is, why are they not converting into sales? So what you need is conversion optimization. And so your conversion ratio is that number of people who come to your site versus people who actually order. So you got to find out, why aren't they buying? Why aren't the people who come to your site converting into sales? Do you just have one of those sites that's just a shopping cart, that when you go there, it's just a bunch of things for sale? You're not providing anything of value to them. In the wellness, body care, and skincare, what is most valuable to them? Provide that to them and the sales will come naturally. Provide that to the community and the traffic will come naturally, organically even. See what I did there? Organically, traffic, wellness, body care, boom. My joke. Okay, we'll skip that. Tough crowd. Alexander Suarez. No questions right now. All right. Walt Wise, who is Mr. X, and what is his area of expertise? Walt is in the USA marketing strategy. Walt, my area of expertise is primarily marketing, but it's all dimensions of business development. I have created franchise prototypes, licensing structures. I have built businesses from the ground up. I've coached people who have businesses, helping them get increased ROI on their investment in all areas of the business. That's in their people through leadership development. That's in their advertising and marketing through guerrilla marketing. That's through the bottom line by increasing new profit centers, by taking the customers they have, getting them to pay more per average on ticket, getting them to refer people to them, getting more customers to come to them. So my area of expertise is all things business and all things Bible. I'm actually a pastor. So there's a couple things, not a lot of things, but there's a couple things I'm an expert in. Business marketing, particularly one, and the Word of God, the Bible, that's another. So those are my areas of expertise. I actually am an expert in multiple areas, as I have been successful in multiple industries. And so happy to help you with any specific questions that you may have. If I don't know, I will refer you and point you in the right direction, or I'll just flat out say I have no clue, I have no idea. Russ Crowley wants to know, he says, no questions, but recommended to come, interested in what he has to say. He's a writer, self-publishing. Awesome. Hakeem Hansen from Spain, didn't understand the question. Sam Hassan doesn't say what kind of business, but digital marketing budgets. Well, Sam, I'm not sure what you mean about the budgets. Are you asking about the budget for your customers? Are you asking about setting your own budgets? So the way that a budget should be set for any form of marketing should be based on the primary factor of understanding what is the value of your customer. What is a customer worth to you in 1 year's time? Let's say that's $1,000. If a customer is worth $1,000 to you in 1 year's time, you have to figure out through your existing marketing, what is it costing me to acquire a new customer? Maybe it's costing you $200 to get a customer. Well, are you willing to spend $200 to make 1,000? You should be able to do that. Be willing to do that all day long. And so you set your budget based on how many you want. It costs me $200 and I'll get $1,000 from that. So how many thousands of dollars do you want to make? I want to make $50,000 in the year. Okay, well, then you want to get 50 customers. It will cost you $200 to get a new customer. So 200 times 50 is how you're going to get that number, and that will give you $10,000, right? So $10,000 will make you $50,000 because that's what you wanted. Over the course of a year, 50 customers times 1,000, so $50,000. That's how you determine your marketing budget, whether it be digital, print, or whatever it is. You have to know what your customer is worth, how much you're willing to spend to get that customer value, and using a particular medium, what is the cost to get a new customer? Once you can factor those things, you're able to set your budget in the guerrilla marketing way. Diana Griffiths, the UK, network marketing and advertising online, says, what skills do you honestly think someone has to have to become a successful network marketer? Man, that is a great question, because here's what happens. You see, if you look at the average network marketing program, 90% of people do not make back their initial investment in that first year. That means they spend money all year long meeting their business volume, paying their entry fees, these kinds of things, and they don't make that back after a year. 90%, 9 out of 10 people, most of them are 95, 99%. I'm actually being generous when I say 90%. So why are 90% failing? A lot of it has to do with not understanding really how network marketing truly works, and how to be successful in that. Let me give you a secret on how to be a successful network marketer. To be a successful network marketer is the same as being a successful parent, and you just have to focus on two things: your children and your grandchildren. In this case, your children are your first level. Your grandchildren are your second level. Some people go too deep. They're too busy trying to help people in their fifth and sixth level, and they're worrying about that. It doesn't even matter. You shouldn't worry about that. Work with your first level personally, and work with your first level and help them work on their first level. It's one thing to teach somebody to be a photographer. It's something entirely different to teach them how to teach photography. So you're not just teaching these people how to be successful in network marketing, you're teaching them how to teach others how to be successful in network marketing. So you work exclusively with your first level. They get all of your attention and all of your time, because what you're going to do is you're going to help them be successful. And the way you help them be successful is to help them with their first level. Your first level is your second level. Guys, if you're not in network marketing, this is not going to make sense, but Diane, I know you're following me here. So your first level is your second level. You're going to work with your first level, and you're going to teach them how to work with their first level. So you're going to be a good parent, and when your children have children, you're going to be a good parent, a good grandparent, and a good parent by helping your children become good parents. You're going to walk them through it. And so what happens is now your children are helping your grandchildren. Now your grandchildren have children. That's your great-grandchildren. You're not interacting with your great-grandchildren. That's your third level. You don't interact with them at all, because that's not your kids, right? So, but what you do is you influence them, because you're working with the parents and you're helping them with their children. So you're really helping level 1 and level 2 work with their own level 1 and level 2. Your level 1 people, you're teaching them how to work with their level 1 people. And how are they working with their level 1 people? They're helping their level 1 people work with their level 1 people. So you, as the point of origin, you assist your first level in assisting their first level. Now your first level is going to be assisting their first level, which is your second level. And how are you assisting your first level? By helping them with your second level. And how are they helping their second level? Well, your second level is their first level, so they're helping them with their first level. That becomes your third level. You're not messing with the third level, right? So this becomes a situation where you are working and helping to procreate in a healthy way. Just focus on your first two levels. Help your first level help their first level. That's it. And then your first level will help its first level, which is your second level, help its first level, which is your third level and their second level, right? And that just goes on and on and on and on and on. And the other thing is, if you're in a binary, start out with a trifecta. Get your first two spots so that you can handle your balancing and your breakaways, which is something I'll get into later if there's enough people who would ever want to be interested in that. You also mentioned, you notice that goals and dreams are spoken about a lot in this industry. Do you think that someone has to know, I think I'm missing some of your question here. Think that someone has to know exactly what these are to succeed? Well, there's a difference between goals and dreams. I'll tell you that. A dream, you're sleeping, you're in your PJs, you're in bed, and or you're looking out the window and you're daydreaming. A lot of people have dreams, but they don't ever do anything about it. You take that dream, you start writing it down, you give it some specific metrics, you give it a deadline, you give it a specific element that you want to accomplish. It becomes a goal, and a goal is something that you can work towards. You definitely have to have goals. They don't have to be a full out 100-page business plan, but you got to have some goals, because think about it. If you have no goals, how could you build a house? You just say, well, I'm dreaming of a house. Okay, well, just start throwing a foundation down, start building some walls, no, that won't work. You have to know how many bedrooms, you have to know how many stories. Is it going to be on the water? Is it going to be in the mountains? Who knows? How you construct it? Was it stone, brick, wood? We don't know, because you don't have any goals. You just have a dream, right? So create that plan. That plan is necessary, because that's the only way that you'll be able to measure what's happening, and you have to measure if you ever want to improve anything that you're working on. So goals, absolutely necessary. They don't have to be elaborate, but you definitely need some sort of goal. And dreams, man, I just believe people should get paid well to live their dream life. So I think if you know what your dreams are, that helps guide you through the use of your passion. So I would encourage both of those. That if you know what these are, I think that you will definitely succeed. Your potential for success will increase. You will not succeed simply because you have goals and dreams. Plenty of people have those, and they are not able to follow the process of success. So my 2 cents on that. Diana, thanks for asking such a pointed question. Sue Terry, in the UK, you are a personal and career coach. And your question is how to stand out from the crowd in a busy marketplace, personal development and career coaching, and get clients who want to pay. Yeah, let's get those clients that want to pay. I always talk about the difference between the types of clients we get. We have to have clients that are both willing and able. You have people who are willing, but they're not able. You have people who are able, but not willing. Man, and the way that you stand out in that crowd is exactly how we get success to chase us, right? And that's what we're going to be talking about Wednesday. I'm going to outline this in detail. Remember, I said that's the only question I won't answer. I've been here now an hour and a half answering questions. So I'm not avoiding your question. It's just that I'm going to have an hour dedicated to that specific question for you, Sue. So make sure you are on the webinar, because I am going to explain that in detail. Deb Ferreira. Deb, I always mess up your name. I know you, and I'm so sorry. I hope I said it right this time. Deb's in the USA. She's in sales, and she wants to know what's the best way to keep an online business organized. And Deb, I'll tell you the dirty little secret is that an online business is no different than a brick and mortar business. So you need a great bookkeeping and accounting software, as well as somebody dedicated to handling that. You're going to have to do some customer management and filing. You're going to have to manage your inventory. You're going to have to manage your payments and processing and delivery and ship. You got to do all those things. I know that they make it seem like you just push a button, but by you asking this question, you clearly found out that's not true. So You keep an online business organized the exact same way you do a brick and mortar. So that's going to require some foresight. That's going to require some systems being put in place. That's going to be a prerequisite that you put some people in place that will run those systems and help manage the business, right? So you have to do all those things to keep an online business organized because it has all the same moving parts. You've got people who have to answer customer support questions. So you need a customer service department. Somebody's got to manage all the employees that you have. Somebody's got to handle inventory. Somebody's got to handle accounts payable and accounts receivable. Somebody's got to figure out what the darn EBITDA is for, investors. I mean, you got all these things, right? P&L report. So it doesn't change. It's all the same. So last two questions here. Mike Lawson from England has an online product, is transitioning from a job. Hey, congratulations, Mike. Do it. Transition. I can tell you no one I have known has said, oh boy, I'm so glad that I waited to transition from my job, or oh boy, I'm so glad I took the slow route in transitioning from my job. Man, get out there and make it happen, Mike. Seriously, do it, bro. You can do it. Make it happen. Transition. Forget that job, that just over broke. No boss is going to value you like yourself. No boss is going to pay you what you are worth like you will pay yourself. And you'll never work for a job like you'll work for the one that is your own business. So, Mike, congratulations to you for your transition. Welcome to entrepreneurialism, man. We're excited to have you and looking forward to hearing some really cool, great things from you. Chris Green is in the UK. And Chris Green wants to know about building a team. Great question. Building a team has to do with team building. And believe it or not, building a team is not the way to do it. The way to do it is to increase your leadership lid. I suggest a book by my mentor, John C. Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. If you increase your leadership lid, then you will be able to build a team naturally, organically. In fact, you will attract a team to you. They will come to you, and you'll be able to manage that team better because you are a good leader. So the better leader you are, the better of a team you'll be able to build, and the better of a team you'll be able to have. So increase your leadership lid. Focus on leadership, not team building. And team building becomes automatic and organic. Well, that's it. 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 19, 20, 21, 22 seconds. Man, whew, that's good stuff, man. I enjoyed that. I'm so glad I was able to help you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the Marketing Secrets group. If you want to get in touch with me, my Skype is I Grow Your Biz. I'm I Grow Your Biz everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. You want to reach me? igrowyourbiz@gmail. You want to get me on Facebook? Facebook.com/igrowyourbiz. You want to send me a Skype? I Grow Your Biz. I am IGROWYOURBIZ. I Grow Your Biz. BIZ. Everywhere. And I'm more than happy to add value to you if you need some help, some assistance. Get in contact with me if you're here in the States. Toll-free number is 1-800-691-2WIN. That's the number 2, W-I-N, as in winners. 1-800-691-2WIN. And so that's part of our motto, dream, hustle, win. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I hope that you've been able to glean from the questions of others. This is the kind of thing that we're going to be doing all the time and every week. So hop on to the Marketing Secrets chat room. You can check out Upscale You is our Facebook group. Welcome to join us there. Platform Toolkit on Facebook. You can check that out as a page. And the webinar coming up, you want to be there. Listen, are you tired of pursuing success? Are you tired of just chasing after it all the time? Would you rather success chase you? Well, I'm going to explain that in detail. And the way you do that is you go to bit.ly. That's bit.ly, right? There's no .com, it's bit.ly, bit.ly/MSFB webinar. That's Marketing Secrets Facebook, MSFB webinar, bit.ly/MSFB webinar. That'll take you to the link for you to register for this Wednesday's call. You definitely want to be there. We're going to be live. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to answer a lot of questions, and I'm going to go over in specific detail exactly how to get success to chase you. Woo! Excited, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you all there. I'll see you inside the chat room. Love you guys. Remember to picture your success. God bless you all.